Up next on The Bottom Line, great news for the communities of GLENMONT, Wheaton, and Silver Spring. We'll tell you why.
This happened because a lot of community advocates, businesses, environmentalists, tenants you saw, all stepped up and pushed for this in a united way.
A new bill that aims to develop a community partnership with Montgomery County Police.
Its focused research and feedback not only makes sense, but it makes us better.
Bringing young and old together through literature. We'll tell you about this special program.
We don't have different thoughts. We usually have kind of the same thoughts a lot.
And we'll meet two of Montgomery County's most recent sports heroes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. Making travel easier around Montgomery County is one of the major goals of the County Council. And recently, a big step in that effort to cut commuting time as Metro's Silver Spring turnbacks have come to an end.
This is a historic day for Metro, and it's a really great day. 29 years in the making.
That's because more than 11,000 Metro riders will have a smoother commute starting today. Since 1984, WMATA has been turning around every other Red Line car at Silver Spring to return to Washington, D.C. Now, all Red Line trains will run between Shady Grove and GLENMONT, ending those turnbacks. With this change, rush hour service is effectively doubled at 3 Metro stations: Forest Glen, GLENMONT, and Wheaton.
For too long as those stations have been in operation, our riders north of Silver Spring have paid full fare and received half the service. Year after year, they've had to wait longer for a train and have had a harder time getting a seat. We heard testimony from many of them who have been late for work, late picking up kids, or sadly who felt forced to drive because Metro was not a realistic option for them.
You know, Wheaton is seeing a lot of really important enhancements. And you know, just last week we did the topping off ceremony for the building just across the street on Reedy. The library recreation center is going to be opening this summer. I mean, there's just so much happening here in Wheaton, and this will be another added asset for our residents.
Officials say not only will ending the turnbacks provide equitable Metro service for residents in the East County, but that it's also good for the environment and the business community.
And we've had more community push for this. This was one of several options that they were considering to improve service. They've been rightly focused on safety over the last few years, and now they're working on improving service and rebuilding ridership. And so this didn't have to happen. This happened because a lot of community advocates, businesses, environmentalists, tenants you saw, all stepped up and pushed for this in a united way.
Recently, the County Council held a public hearing on a bill that aims to foster a community approach to policing. At a press conference before the hearing, lead sponsor Hans Riemer was joined by officials who support this measure. Hundreds of residents turned out for a public hearing on a new bill that would improve the County Council's oversight of Montgomery County Police.
Confidence and trust and support in police work.
And at a press conference before the public hearing, lead sponsor of the measure, Councilmember Hans Riemer, said, though Montgomery County has an excellent police department, it's not immune to challenges.
The very mission of police work and of public safety is at stake, and we need to reinvent policing in this new world that we're in, this world where problems that maybe in the past didn't come to light are coming to light, where communities that have had challenges for years in their interactions with the departments are now having a voice. And we need to figure out how police work is going to succeed in the world that we live in.
In an effort to build trust in policing, this measure would develop a community partnership with the police to allow civilian participation in the formulation of department policy. The Policing Advisory Commission would examine the department's strategies, officer training and discipline, and the rules that officers are trained to follow.
We'd have meaningful community interaction and input. If you look at our police data for last year, for example, and you look at nearly half of the arrests were Black people, when we represent 19% of the population here in the county. You need to know why that's happening. You need to look at the stops, and we need to look at those arrests, and we're going to be digging into that. We need to dig into how we are doing community policing, and are there ways that can be improved.
There would be 11 civilian members of the commission. Acting Police Chief Marcus Jones is in the running for the open chief position. He says by no means is the police department a perfect institution, but he believes a police advisory commission would assist both the department and the council.
We expect the commission will provide an objective analysis and informed opinion on how the department can improve, as well as how others can help us in our mission.
The evening hearing came on the same day County State's Attorney John McCarthy announced charges had been filed against a county police officer for allegedly using excessive force.
And it's a sad day when Marcus and I stand here having to charge a Montgomery County police officer.
At the public hearing, it was clear feelings on this issue ran deep.
People who are not experts in the field of professional policing should not be making decisions related to professional policing.
I urge you to create this commission and to fill it with people of color, with LGBTQ people, and with all of those whose safety is so precarious, especially in the hands of the police.
The Civilian Police Advisory Commission bill will now move to the Public Safety Committee for discussion, with a vote on the measure scheduled for later this fall. Some of the best and most valuable lessons in life come from the people who are a part of your life. And research has found that intergenerational interactions can enhance a child's social and personal development. In this story, we take a look at a program where that engagement is encouraging kids to hit the books. Sometimes finding something in common with another person can make conversation challenging. But here at the Silver Spring Library, there is plenty of talking going on between these older adults and Sligo Creek Middle School students. They are part of the JCA Intergenerational Book Club.
He bullied because other people had bullied him, and he didn't want to seem bad.
This is the third meeting for the book club, and the group is reading 90 Miles to Havana, a story about a young boy who flees Cuba with his brothers after the revolution.
So take a look at this. You have to pick a character.
And ends up living in a youth refugee camp in Florida.
And he would rather go with him than be sent away to an orphanage.
At the Interages Center, we do all intergenerational programs, bringing youth and seniors together, or older adults. And in this case, we have found that it can be challenging for programs that attract middle schoolers. And the libraries in particular were interested in finding programs that would attract middle schoolers to the library. And we thought a book group would be a great opportunity for that. And talk about the book, talk about the way it makes everybody feel, talk about what we would do in the character's shoes, talk about how it relates to the kids' experiences and the adults' experiences.
Volunteering with the book club gives the older adults the opportunity to find extra meaning in their lives during their retired years. Deb is one of the seniors who is participating. For her, the opportunity to work with younger people is energizing.
It's wonderful working with children, watching how they grow, watching how they think, and participating, how they analyze and how they move on in life in a way.
He tries to control everything, so in his thoughts he can't look bad.
And for the students, well, from all accounts, they were an open book.
It's fun working with different people and people that you never met before, and just getting their ideas and making them your own.
We get to engage with other people and talk about the book, see what they think about it, different ways.
I really like it because I like reading books, and this one seems very interesting.
With an older adult too, does that make it kind of helpful to you?
Yeah, it kind of makes me helpful because it kind of makes me realize that it's not just like we don't have different thoughts. We usually have kind of the same thoughts a lot. We're the same exact people, just different ages. That's really it.
We love to do things that dispel age stereotypes in both directions.
The character and why is it important?
You know, that youth are kind of callous and not thoughtful or not dedicated to their studies, or that older adults are strict or grumpy or mean or uncaring, things like that. We can really clear a lot of those up with this kind of one-on-one interaction.
The County Council helps support the programs offered at the JCA Interages Center. Councilmember Tom Hucker says engaging the bookend generations benefits everyone.
The stories and the lived experience that they've had can really enrich a child's life, and to have an older adult like that really, that you're not related to, care about you and ask and be interested in you is really powerful, I think, for a lot of young people, especially middle schoolers, that often can tend to isolate themselves a little bit, to get a little bit out of their comfort zone, their school or their sports team or their friends, and be talking to adults of a different generation, to find out how people of a different generation, different background, different upbringing looked at the exact same book and how they maybe took away from it things that were different than you took away.
JCA Intergenerational Book Club started last year and is a partnership between the JCA, the middle schools, and Montgomery County Public Libraries. And finally, County Executive Mark Elrich and Councilmember Craig Rice recently stopped by the Maryland Soccerplex, home to the Washington Spirit, to recognize the team and to congratulate the players who played for the World Cup winning national team. It's not every day that you can see World Cup soccer players in action right here in Montgomery County. The confetti is swept up and the festivities might be over, but World Cup hero and Washington Spirit midfielder Rose Lavelle was in top form as she took to the Soccerplex field on Saturday night against the Chicago Red Stars. It was a sellout crowd in Boyd's as her World Cup teammates, Red Stars goalkeeper Alyssa Dayer and midfielder Julie Ertz were firing on all cylinders during Saturday's match. The game was extremely close and competitive throughout, but in the end, it was the visiting Red Stars who scored the one and only goal of the game.
Final whistle, and the Red Stars come out on top with a goal.
Despite the loss, there was reason to celebrate as County Executive Mark Elrich and Councilmember Craig Rice honored the team and all of the World Cup players from both teams for their dedication in bumping the women's national team to World Cup reality.
The Washington Spirit players inspire fans and future players through their leadership on and off the field, their work ethic, their athletic talents, and their passion to grow the game nationwide.
And whereas the Washington Spirit players, past and present, have played on the U.S. women's national team, including the current players, Rose Lavelle and Mallory Pugh.
It's been fun. Me and Mal have been so excited to get back with the team and settled in. And I think we've kind of feel like this is a home away from home for us. And we love the girls. The team's awesome. It's been like everything we could wish for. And I think with the new ownership, it just keeps getting better.
Hereby proclaim appreciation and support for your Washington Spirit!
World Cup and Spirit teammate Mallory Pugh was sidelined with a hip injury, but that didn't stop her from supporting her team.
I know me and Rose, we both were saying we can't wait to get back. So yeah, I'm just super excited. Obviously, I'm a little bummed that I can't be playing tonight because we only get so many home games, and I really do love playing at home. I think anytime we can really fill the stands, and it just feels like a good environment. So yeah, I'm bummed I wasn't able to play tonight, but next home game for sure.
Fourth time, the United States of America are crowned champions of the world.
These women are gaining national attention in more ways than one. Their World Cup victory has brought attention to the issue of equal pay.
You and your sport are just the same as everyone else. That you should be paid accordingly to.
Here in Montgomery County, the council has unanimously passed a bill that goes into effect on August 15th that guarantees equal pay for equal work here at the county government.
Pay inequity is a nationwide issue where women get paid approximately 77 cents to every dollar a man makes. And the fact that these world-class athletes are fighting for what they should deserve is a problem. And so when local jurisdictions pick up this mantle, when we get past the ball, I'm going to keep driving it down the field and make sure that we're successful here, and hopefully other jurisdictions are successful as well.
I love that. I think that's the kind of the conversation that we need to keep going, and I think it's progress, but obviously we still have a long way to go, and I hope that we all here, not even just on the national team, but on this team here, we can use our platform to help keep pushing that boundary.
Lovely run, great goal!
Keep pushing that boundary so that young girls who dream to play in the World Cup, like Rose Lavelle or Red Star Julie Ertz will know that they are worth it.
Oh, sorry, this is kind of hard. There you go. Julie, can you sign? Sorry. Oh my God. So much. You played so well. Julie, Thank you. Thank you. I just cried. So excited. Thank you so much. Hey, Julie. Here you go.
Well, that does it for this edition of The Bottom Line. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy.